All right, welcome back to the Circuit Podcast. I'm joined as always by Shawnee,
What's up, everybody?
Bankhead,
What it do, baby?
and Evander.
How do you use this?
We missed that little sign on last week. Last time we did it. All right, so this week we're gonna take a look at a couple matchups, review some big trades that happened recently. Maybe not have a chance to get to them all, and then finally we're actually gonna start a new segment like looking at trade etiquette and maybe some ways to get people to move or talk and stop with them, work with them on it. So the first matchup we're gonna do, Bankhead is gonna walk us through it. His game of the week for the circuit is my matchup with Simply. So Bankhead, break it down.
Yeah, and going through the circuit, there was a lot of games to choose from, honestly. But this one I wanted to key in on because I'm new to this league. This is my first year in this one and the Sharks League. And looking at this matchup, it's just juicy all around. So now I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what each team may have to do or may need to happen their way for them to pull out this win. These are two teams that are probably going to be competing for the championship in this league. On Wood JT side, the key matchup for him is the Sunday game with Kansas City and Cleveland, I believe. I believe that needs to turn into the type of shootout that is not Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt heavy for him, but I do think that's the game plan Cleveland is going to bring out. They need to keep Kansas City off the field as much as possible. So I think that could be a detriment and hurt. Another key factor is the health of Austin Eckler. If Eckler is good to go, which, I mean, everyone's saying he looked like he's good to go from the Chargers staff, then, I mean, that gives them a big boost there. The Thursday night matchup from Dallas and Tampa was huge for him. Getting the 38 from Dak off the bat, we wasn't 100% sure what we was going to get from Dak, not playing in the preseason. And then CD, 31 points, which should have been 50. CD dropped with 3 or 4 balls that easily with his breakaway ability or open field ability, I mean, could have been another 70 or 80 yards of production for him. So getting that from the Thursday night game, even though Godwin kind of, mirrored CD there. But that fumble from Godwin was huge. But I would say that this matchup, from Simply standpoint, he needs Baker to get into a Mahomes shootout. And I don't think that's going to happen. From the Simply standpoint, I mean, Russell going against that defense, who knows? DK Metcalf can get over the top of them. They like to run a lot of cover too. Seattle's got the guys that can get over the top of that defense. So if Seattle take their shots, I believe they can hit a few of those. We'll see what happens there. His running game is on par. McCaffrey, I'm a little worried about with him coming back from the injury and then playing the Jets. That can get ugly fast, possibly. They may rest McCaffrey a lot in the second half. We'll see how that goes. All in all, though, this matchup is one I believe, especially for this league, it could set the precedent going forward. The loser of this matchup, depending on how badly they may lose, could determine, what they want to do going forward. So,
All right, Shawnee, what do you got? Oh, it's a bank. So your pick is who, just to clarify?
and to win the game, I'm gonna go with Simply.
Traitor. All right. Anyways,
I
Shawnee, who you
just
got?
don't think Baker's gonna get in the shootout that you need.
So, all right, Shawnee, who you
Um,
got?
I actually gonna think. I think a slim chance, but I give it to Wood.
All right, Vander.
I'm actually gonna go with Wood. I think Gibson is gonna have a big game. I think that might be the difference. Gibson outperforming McCaffrey.
Mm,
Uh, I'm
And like you
gonna.
said, I think he might sit the second half of that game, babe.
yeah,
And I
that's what
see
I'm afraid
Gibson
of for
getting
Simply.
crazy touches week 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
go.
gonna be interesting.
I'm going
Yeah.
myself because I'm gonna go believe in myself, and
No
don't want. I can't.
surprise
I don't
there.
want to say simply wins. But if we're talking about one of my guys sitting, McCaffrey beating up on the Jets, he might be sitting too second half.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Shawnee, where are we going next?
On the husbands, me versus Tigo.
And that was a
Damn,
matchup I
dog, you got
wanted to
some
get in.
leagues.
So straight off the bat, basically, Tico He had 2 players Thursday night. They flopped. And Tico, his team is built straight up. I'm not gonna say all his team is built from IDP, but that's a major part of his team that makes him score the most points year after year. He was his top contender last year, where he was like the second ranked team going into the playoffs. So to start off, Melvin Gordon, he's in a timeshare right now. So maybe he flops. Tua, I think he have a better season, but he's starting off against New England. They want to show the world that they can, get back to playing New England football. And Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb is back. They're gonna split the workload. I'm not saying the Kareem Hunt, he could pop off at any time, but it's a lot of questionable pieces on his side. DJ Chark, I think that game might be a blowout, and everybody expects Laviska Shenault to step up. Everybody thinks James Robinson is gonna repeat top 8, production. So I think it's a lot of question marks, but he definitely has Dalvin Cook, Tyreek, Waller. They can go off at any moment. But looking at it from my side, all the injuries the Ravens are dealing with, what Lamar's gonna do. And the power of the quarterback and what he can do. We see his MVP season. I think he's gonna bounce back. He was written off a lot this year. I mean, people don't say it too much, but they throw jabs at him all year. They forget about him. Everybody wants to trade for everybody but Lamar. But I think he bounced back in a major way. And then looking at I got everything but running backs. But with those 2 players not basically giving him any points, I think it just averages out. And I'll take my receiver. And Mark Andrews is no slouch, so I think I can keep up. And my IDP, is decent, so I think I can sneak out with a win.
All right, Bankhead, what are you feeling? How you liking the matchup?
One problem, Shawnee hit the nail on the head. It's those running backs, man. You're looking at a situation where he might can get absolutely nothing from the running back position this week. Even with Tevin Coleman as the starter, he could possibly get nothing from his running back core. So I'm having a hard time wanting to pick him, even though I feel like he can get a wash from the receivers and for sure the tight end and the IDPs for sure. Quarterback, I think Shawnee is going to dominate because I truly believe Tua's either going to be looked at as being benched after this game because it could get that bad, or he's going to play so well that I'm just going to be totally wrong about the guy because I think he's going to be a bust. But I truly believe he's going to struggle very bad in this New England game. So Shawnee's going to dominate the quarterback position, but I think he might not get anything from the running backs. They're not even sure how much Sony will play, and Coleman, even as a starter, I don't think I'm going to still have to go with Tico.
All right, Vander, what do you got?
I got Shawnee. Interesting point about the running backs. I hope y'all know who the other 2 are. Michael Carter, for a rookie, and who's the other dude? Ty Johnson, who from Maryland, great skill physically.
Well, this is me thinking they get nothing out of that backfield at all. Let me be clear.
Rookie quarterback, week 1, rookie, a new head coach, new OC. I think you're running the football, personally. I think that's going to be the difference. I think Coleman has a big game out of necessity.
I mean, I see where you're going with it. I'm only going to go with Shawnee, but otherwise I'd be picking Tika normally. It's just because of what Shawnee said here. I don't need to rehash it. He already lost major points with Jalen Smith was putting what 25, 30 a game and only got him 9. Half a tackle there. Yeah, I think that's going to hurt him too much in this week. So, giving Shawnee my vote.
Getting nothing from Wilson was tough too.
Yeah. Vander, where are we off to next?
We are off to Survival of the Champions. And we got a matchup between Shawnee and Ozzy.
Yeah, that one's good.
Ooh.
Yeah. Had to pull one out for y'all.
How did I sleep on that?
Because me, I got to go deep in the bag.
How did I?
All right, so we got a good matchup for quarterbacks. You got Stafford versus Rodgers. Rodgers coming off his MVP season. Stafford finally with the OC, an offense, period. We'll see what happens week 1. I think against the Bears, I think he's about to come out throwing. I think both him and who's the head coach? What's that dude's name?
McVay.
I think they got a statement to prove. He got rid of Jared Goff. He has Stafford. He got his quarterback. I think they're coming out throwing. CH, this is a good running back matchup. Obviously, I'm going to go give the edge to Osmo. But wide receiver is where I really think it gets interesting. You got Cooper versus Adams. That could be a wash. But right now, it's looking like Cooper outscores that. And then you got A.J. Brown versus Justin Jefferson. Allen Robinson versus Alan Thielen. Kyle Pitts, Andrews. This is a even matchup. Honestly, I don't even know who I'm choosing yet. And IDP, it's a wash again. Everything is stacked. The one thing again that's going to come up is this Jalen Smith like no show game. That really could hurt. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ozzy in this one. I think Kamara might be the difference.
All right, Bank, who you got?
E-Gas, looks like we disagreeing again.
Here we go, baby. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm looking at it, like you said, quarterback, pretty much a wash. Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers, and I think Matthew Stafford has an MVP season. I actually think Matthew Stafford will win the MVP.
Interesting hot take, but I like it.
Yeah, the running back situation definitely a wash. As long as Swift is going to start behind that offensive line, he should be just fine.
So who you picking without going through the whole team?
Yeah, without going through the whole thing, I'm going Shiny. I feel like it's just too many question marks on Ozzy.
All right, Shawnee, I'll save you for last there. I'm going Ozzy. Whenever you get like a good point total from your defense to start off, I like it. I know you had the Amari Cooper game, but I just feel like any of these receivers he has could potentially have it. I'm not feeling Thielen too much.
I'm not
So
feeling Galladay or Thielen.
I mean,
Galladay hasn't practiced in 2 months.
If Galladay plays, he's gonna get a
literally
tons
no
of volume.
chemistry with Danny Dimes right now.
He's
None.
gonna be the only one on the field. So I'm going with Ozzy. I think it's gonna be like they're separated by 4 points. I think it's gonna be less than a 10-point game. I don't think this one will be a one-sided. All right, Shani, who you got?
I'm actually gonna pick Ozzy because first of all, the Jalen Smith, yeah, that really hurts. But what I give him the edge on, I think Kirk Cousins playing against Cincinnati's defense, they play a lot of cover one. I think he could tear that up. I'm gonna benefit somewhat from Jefferson, but I think if Tua does struggle, which I don't believe, I think like I said, I think he had a good season. I just don't know about week one. And I'm starting Jamar Chase. I don't know. Let's see how this goes.
All right. So which brings us to our last game, which is my pick, and we are going to be going back to Real House Husbands with a rematch of the championship game, Bankhead versus Marin. I almost want to say, and I'm not saying he traded away all his picks because you do have some. It doesn't show it now, but Bankhead's almost out of ammo with that Dobbins injury hurting him. Maybe a chink in the armor there, but as of right now, his other starters are healthy and they're scary. And you got Mahomes, Henry, Devontae Adams. Like you could arguably say one at his position, one A, one B at his position. Somebody said Jefferson wasn't top 5. I don't know about that. But the move to tight end premium, and she literally has probably the 2 best tight ends right now in the game until Pitts gets a little bit more established, may give her enough points. Look at the adjusted point totals because she's getting that extra catch per reception. It kind of makes me nervous. Like this year, Marin could do it with the adjustment and point scheduling, just giving that a little bit extra boost. But this right here, this ain't gonna cut it. I mean, she got screwed Thursday night. So prior to this, I was up in the air, but because we kind of have hindsight now and can see it, I think defense is a wash, by the way. So I'm not even going to go at Marin always has good defense. You have a solid defense as well, and you already got paid off big time with Lavonte David. So I'm going to go Bank. I mean, obviously it's super in his favor, but the running back screwed her this week. She didn't have a chance. Evander, what do you think?
I'm going Bankhead. I don't think there's anything really that needs to be said.
All right, Chani.
I'm gonna go Bank. I think the end score is going to be closer, but I think he has a lot of way to hedge this game because obviously she got Kelsey, but he has Mahomes, so he's going to benefit. And Kittle, I think they're going to be in a blowout, so he has Monster. He could just sub him, and that's the hedge to Kittle. And I think he just off to a hot start already.
That's actually a good thought. I like that play. All right, and Bankhead.
And obviously, I choose me for obvious reasons. I just want to touch on one thing about that you said, the loss of the Dobbins and Gus.
I was about
And
to
so
cover
I,
this.
because I look at it from the standpoint, okay, so say, I lose that player, right? But I'm replacing them with either Miles Gaskins, Daryl Henderson, or Julio Jones, throughout the whole year. Like, those are all guys, if they keep their starting jobs, speaking of the running backs, Henderson or Gaskins, they keep their starting jobs in the offenses that they're in, I'm not worried about them producing. And, so what are we looking at? Maybe a 5 to 7 point difference than what Dobbins would have got, you know what I mean, if Daryl Henderson stays healthy in a Sean McVay offense. So I don't really think, that loss is going to hurt me too much because I got the depth to cover it now. Especially I can plug Julio in at the flex spot whenever too. So
There you go, that part, Julio.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you don't have Julio on one of the spots already, but I still disagree with that. I mean, Dobbins was slated to be an RB1, and that still hurts losing that. But teach your own. All right, so now we're going to transition, look at some deals, and it's almost these deals are kind of highlighting someone who's been a little active lately. We just added him in survival. Is he? And didn't he also take over? No, that was Slicemo who joined House Husbands. But I don't know
one
who.
of my favorite owners so far.
Yeah, he seems really easy to get deals done with. And let me zoom out just a little bit here so I can see the recent activity. We're going to take a look at Gooser's trades. We're going to go back to some spicy ones. This one right here.
Which league?
Sharks. It's up. You should be able to see it on the shared screen. Gooser gave away Kareem Hunt, Tua Tagovailoa, blah blah blah, and Mac Jones for Murray, quarterback, Arizona, top 5 QB. Why don't we go ahead and start our band? You kind of shared your thoughts on this one right away. When you saw this, what did you think?
Love it. I love it for Gus. I don't think it's a bad trade for Tico. I mean, I would take the Kyler Murray part of this trade 10 times out of 10 every day with no hesitation. I don't see Mac Jones being a quarterback that lasts in the league. I don't think he'll be a starter in 3 years. Tua is not even named the captain. I think he's gone either at the latest by the beginning of next season. And Kareem Hunt's in a timeshare with a better running back. I just give me Kyler Murray all day. Give me a top 5, top 7 quarterback in the league.
Shawnee, you're in this league as well. What was your instant reaction?
My instant reaction is, like I said, I love him for Gusser, but to give a little context, it really helps Tico's roster because he is the champion, and his second quarterback was Cam Newton, so he made a move. He goes and gets his guys. Tua is one of his guys. I think Tua is fine. I like him way more than other people like him, so I'm not worried. I think Mac Jones is actually fine, but when I say fine, I think they have no way of reaching QB1, and Kyler Murray does, and we see the advantages of those type of players. So that's why, hands down, I got to give it to those type of players. Because anytime you can be the QB1 overall, you smash him, and he has Lamar Jackson to pair with it.
And Bankhead, what do you think?
I think we're looking at one of those trades that was just a win-win for both guys. I mean,
Yeah,
for Gusser, it's a no-brainer to be able to pair Lamar and Kyler together. You got to do it. Any chance you got to do that, you got to do it. And Tico, like you guys say, he was the champ last year. But looking at that roster, if he didn't make this trade, he had zero chance of winning this year
yeah, he
after
might have missed
Cam
the playoffs.
lost his job. Yeah, so, he could have lost and missed the playoffs for sure. Now he gives himself a chance. I'm not the biggest Tua fan, but if Tua keeps the job all year, I mean, you're talking, you still got 2 starting quarterbacks in the Superflex league now, and Kareem Hunt, who's an RB2, who, if anything happens to Chubb, you now got a possibly top 5, 7 running back, so it's a no-brainer deal for Tico. But like I said, I mean, Gusser had to do it. You get a chance to pair Lamar and Kyler, it's a no-brainer for both.
I think this
I
is
mean,
Context, I had
can you
no idea
guarantee
about
you're going
either
to get,
roster.
2 quarterbacks, 23 years old and a starting running back all the time in a trade? You can't guarantee that. It's tough to get a trade.
I would say this is also, you could said what when this is also one of those, like, it's a perfect match. We all know Hunt and Tua are Tico guys. Mac
Right,
Jones
right.
became
And
a
that's the thing.
necessity after
That
Cam.
plays a big factor.
Yeah,
Getting your guys plays a factor.
I think that's what did it. And then Tico is like, I want my guys. We know his mentality is like, I just he throws the world at you if you happen to have one of them
Mm-hmm.
until he runs out of toys to give you. But I think this was just that little happy marriage, and they got a job done.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, though. Dealing with Gusser so far in the last month or two, whatever, since I've been in this league, he probably could have got more than that from Gusser, though, because Gusser is a guy, he's willing to do good business. And I think he looked at that deal, was like, oh, this is all I have to give up? Sure. You know what I mean? So I think, I probably would have, if I'm giving up Kyler, I probably would have maybe wanted a Najee instead of, Kareem Hunt or whatever. And Gusser probably still would have done it. Doing Gusser.
Najee?
Yeah, he got Nick Chubb too.
Boy, that man on fire.
So, speaking of Gusser, let's move on to see what he did here and
It's
a
the
deal with you,
follow-up
Bank.
to his trade.
So this happened a week later, pretty much, where Gusser obtained Claypool, Waddle, and a 22 first for Edwards, Dobbins, and Bateman. Now, for context, Bank is in total rebuild. He's declared that he's been trading off and getting, trying to get younger. So
He owns the drafts
Yeah.
in the future.
So Bankhead has no chance of winning. He just put that out there. So, having said all that, I want to go first here. I think this is dumb. I think you save the running backs for last. I know you got Bateman. Maybe you see something I don't, but you trade away Claypool, which I know me and you both like Claypool a lot. Like, we're always haggling over him in our leagues. Waddle, I think, has tremendous upside and a first, which that I don't care about as much. But I don't understand why you trade away good young wide receivers there. So maybe you can walk me through that trade just a little bit.
Let me jump in it. Let me see if I can.
All right, go ahead, Vander.
So this is another league where I have no idea what the rosters look like. However, Bankhead he's a type of person that if you can get a good running back, especially for cheap, he's going to take that deal every single time, because it's harder to get a good running back than it is to get a good wide receiver, especially when it comes to the draft. And he's rebuilding. So if he has the picks to go out and get wide receivers, there are 6-7 wide receivers in each draft every year. Why wouldn't he take the running back right now? I feel like Jalen Waddle was the hardest thing that he had to let go. Claypool, good player.
Really?
That quarterback position, I feel like the quarterback position it's so murky that it's hard. It's easier to give up Claypool than it is to give up Waddle.
Oh,
You want to go, Shawnee?
oh my goodness. We're in different wavelengths there. Go ahead, Shawnee.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, obviously Gusser wins the trade, but to give, like we say, context. Honestly, I already know what Bank's strategy is here. I do it when I take over one of the worst teams. I trade for all first-round picks. I want to control everything because in the future, it seems like you're selling cheap now, but we all know when you're on the clock and you got people like Trey Lance and all the young guys coming in, you're going to have to pay for it. So like you said, he took a running back because if healthy, I'll take Dobbins over Waddle. I'll take the running back over a wide receiver any day. Right. I think Bateman is actually solid, super solid.
I love Bateman, actually.
Yeah, maybe the offense that he's in doesn't pass enough to make him top 12, but we can't always predict that. So if you say everything equal, he's on par with any receiver in here, like pure talent. But I'll give the edge to Claypool. So maybe he could have got more for Claypool. But like I said, I understand what's going on. But I love it, once again, for Gusser. But I don't fault Bank for what he did.
All right, Bank, let's hear it.
Those guys they really hit it right on again. My idea was I got Trey Sermon already locked in for one of my running back spots next year. I wanted to lock in that Baltimore backfield as my other 2 running back spots. Then looking at the fact that when the first round pick that I moved was one of the worser picks.
Yeah.
So and I still have 5 firsts next year That's going to be probably 3 quarterbacks at least. And then I can use maybe 2 receivers or another running back. You know what I mean? Like the options are there for whatever the hell I want to do. But now my running back core would be locked in already. So that way I can really start teasing the draft and teasing these picks for guys that want to move up for one of these quarterbacks, because I already got the running back. So I'm not worried about, I don't want to move this pick because I need to get me a running back. You know what I mean? I got him now. I'm locked in there. And like you said, I have no problem finding these receivers late first, early seconds. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Nico Collins could very well end up being the next Claypool, or, the next, Bateman or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so who knows? You know what I mean? It's much easier, like you guys said, to find the wide receiver than it is the running back.
So let me ask you a question. Just I'm curious during your negotiations. Do you think you could have done Dobbins and Edwards, right? You get them just for Waddle in a first.
Dobbins and Edwards just for what? No.
You don't think you would have gone for it?
No. And I disagree with what you said, Egas. I'm way heavier on Claypool than I am Waddle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually think Waddle might bust.
I mean, it's possible. Claypool could still bust.
I have no qualms with giving up Waddle at all.
Interesting.
For me, I'm with Bank on that.
Like Waddle. I think my thinking is you have a better chance of getting a better quarterback long term in Miami than you do in Pittsburgh. They're already trying to trade for Deshaun.
Well, yeah, you can say that, but I don't know, because Pittsburgh has a longer history of being successful and doing the right things. So I trust them to go get a quarterback more than I trust Miami.
They ain't never had no good backup under Big Ben, though.
But they always have a good front up. Whatever you want to call it.
They always have a Big Ben, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So on our last trade we're going to look at, and I don't think we're going to spend too much time because I don't know. There's just not much to say other than, oh God, please.
This might end up spending the most time because we have to break into etiquette.
Yeah, we're going to transfer into etiquette off of this, but this is a trade when in Simply's League, Dynasty Party, which a couple of us are in. And as you can see here, the deal was offered by them Carolina boys. And in it, Hitman gets Henry. I'm only going to go over the pieces that matter. Henry, Watson, Ridley. In return for giving up Woods, Lockett, and Edwards' injury was already out there. An already injured Edwards, Jacobs, and Hurts. Take it away, Shawnee. I know you said you ain't got time for it, but now you do. What do you think about this trade?
First off, Simply, I know you're going to watch this. As a commissioner, I know these are your friends, but things like this could kill a league just because of the simple fact, because let's go. He first of all, them Carolinas, you can't see it from here, but his roster, he drafted Tom Brady. So there's no way you draft Tom Brady and you give all away your win now pieces. Like, it makes no sense. And I you know me, I'm the most active owner in like every league. I send them trades, whether you like it or not. I basically sent Dan Jones a first, looking for, the other day I put in the chat, does anybody have a quarterback? Nobody responded. And I put out the crickets gift. So it's just, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then you look at it, come on now. I mean, if Deshaun Watson ever plays again, Jalen Hurts, bye-bye. I don't care if he's top 7 this year. I'll take Deshaun Watson all day long if he's starting. Derrick Henry, for what? Like, who can you give for Derrick Henry in this trade on the opposite side? Maybe Jacobs, if you say you was rebuilding and you want to get younger, but it's going to take a little bit more. And Calvin Ridley, he got the chance to be the wide receiver 1 overall right now. So that's just, you basically just giving players away for free. We all playing for money. So this stuff like this could kill a league. And like, if I'm the commissioner, even if I don't throw you out, I'm giving you a fair warning right now. Like, you're going to get the boot. It's enough of this. We all make bad trades. Everybody makes bad trades because we all trying to project. We all trying to predict, because you could have a calculator, do all that stuff if you want, but you have to take risks. But this right here, it makes no sense at all. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. What do you want Gus Edwards and not J.K. Dobbins? Come on now.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait till you hit on it. But just to be clear, again, this is after the injury.
One more thing though.
Hitman had J.K. Dobbins. Why
But
not
one
get
more
J.K.
thing.
Dobbins in the? Go ahead. Sorry, just
Sorry. One more thing. And even though Austin Hooper doesn't have a big name, this is still tight end premium. And once again, I
yes.
ask this: anybody have a tight end? I'm starting a tight end with a zero in my lineup. You telling me that you can't find somebody to give you a better deal for these players? That means you're not even searching. You're not even looking.
I mean, he did say at some point what he was down for the count. All right, I'll wait. Vander. No, yeah, Vander. I'll
Yeah,
say
Vander,
Bank for
you
next.
stay
Vander,
funny.
go ahead. What do you got?
Make me laugh.
All right, I'm the type of person, if I say it once, I'll say it twice. Both these dudes should be kicked out this damn league. This trade is terrible. This is one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Like, I don't I don't understand how you trade away the first, the second, and the third best player in the trade, and willingly accept the whatever the hell you get back in return, which is what I don't know. What do you get? Josh Jacobs as the best player you get? Robert Woods? Who the fuck wants Robert Woods other than simply Lockett? Don't nobody like Lockett? Gus Edwards is the backup, and he's hurt. What are you doing? I don't.
Well, this was his
I don't
prize.
understand. And I'm looking at his team right now. He has Tom Brady. He has Christian McCaffrey. He has Kyle Pitts. Like, he has Debo Samuel. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's like they're trying to help each other stack each other's roster.
What are you doing? They both like this
They
is
messed
this
it
is
up.
another Tico thing where like Tico was controlling two teams. This is damn near the same thing. Kick that man. I'm done. Kick that man. Kick both of them.
I mean,
Can I get some of this?
you can go here, but I just do want to point out Derek Hitman was like, he was even saying like, okay, like he was unsure like about the deal, but I mean
All
he
right, well then
accepted
don't kick him because he ain't colluding. I don't know what
it.
that.
Like he even says like
Carolina boys need to go.
he's like, I'm gonna drop the Dallas dude. I think he was too afraid to counter and get rid of the Dallas dude in case he revoked the deal. But go ahead, Bankhead.
I think that's damage
Uh,
control.
um, this is the worst trade I've ever seen in fantasy football. And the only thing, like, if you're telling me this is not collusion, which from reading through the chat, I mean, it looks like it very well just may not be. If this is not collusion, then whoever them Carolina boys, I just
Gotta
don't want
go.
owners like you in my league. And it's just that simple. Like, if you're that bad at fantasy football, why are you just, you need to be playing the league with your mom and your wife and whomever. Like, because you don't need to be in a league where you're willing to give up the three best players in the deal. Every player that you got back, arrow is pointing down. Every single one of them. One guy was out for the year and he's already in the backup role. And every other player, Jalen Hurts may not even have a starting job next year. Like, so if there's not collusion, this guy is too bad to be in fantasy football. And sometimes you have to protect, an owner has to protect the league from bad teams.
Commissioner has to protect the league from bad owners. There you
Like,
go.
yeah, like you see kind of how, when the NBA tried to step in and stop the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers. You know what I mean? That's this.
There's one of these every year too. There's one person every year. Last year it was Kenny West. Year before it was I forget the dude's
We
name.
had it in Gumbo this past year, and I had to immediately kick the owner.
Year before that it was Bryson. Like, it's one every single year.
And the commissioner has to step up and say, you know what? This is what's best for the league.
He gotta go. And he already got kicked out of one league. Like, dude wasn't even active. I'm betting you he wasn't active before this trade too, because that's just probably how he is.
Right. And then that's what I'm seeing through all the chats. Everyone's just saying, hey, he wasn't active. He's even saying guys been on the block for months or whatever. Like, come on, man. Why is this guy in this league?
I just, I don't.
Want to do something.
The thing that got me was
I'm not just going to blame anybody but them Carolina boys. That's where my blame is headed. But I'm saying simply has to make a decision.
I guess the only thing that I don't understand is where did he say it? That he had Dobbins said that if you would have gotten Dobbins, right? Like if you're gonna make the comment saying this is you even say at one point this is dynasty, right? You're not playing for
And
this
it's even a
year.
bad deal with Dobbins.
Yeah, it is a bad deal with Dobbins, but it gets a little bit more understandable because you can say
Yeah.
maybe Henry's run out. You get the backup to where like okay he's healthy next year. He's in a reduced role. Like the only reason he was getting so many projected so many points this year was because Dobbins was hurt.
This guy's got to go.
I don't know. That's the when I was like I thought it was bad before that, but when I read that part, that's what did it for me. I'm like, uh, my head exploded. Like I don't understand. It's not logical to say you're going for the future and you don't get Dobbins. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna click off this one. I can't look at it anymore.
It's a fucking eyesore.
Yeah, let's just do this so that way Shawnee can see what I think of him after trading for Gus myself. Um. Anyways,
Think about it.
I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it because it literally happened the day after our trade. Um, God, that hurt. Okay. So last thing we want to hit on tonight. Take about 5-10 minutes and do a little bit about this and talk about trade etiquette. Uh, and not saying that like our way is perfect. Everybody has their own little nuance, but we just kind of want to talk about the different tactics. And one of the tactics we had was texting or using the messaging feature, the DM feature up here. First off, like preference on which one you guys like to use, and then secondly, like how much is too much, or like how do you try to like do it? Is it different for every people, or you kind of go at it the same? So I'm curious, Bankhead, what's kind of your, do you like to use the sleeper app or you prefer texting?
Yeah. And then so for me, it really doesn't matter to me, right? Because I guess I kind of prefer you text me at the end of the day, because sometimes like with me when I send out a trade, sometimes I might change my mind about the deal I've sent out within 5 or 10 minutes if you hadn't accepted, because I know I sometimes give up more than I should to go get a guy that I really want. So with me, if you really want to do a deal with me, once you send it, just shoot me a quick text. Hey, Bank, I just shot you a deal. Let me know what's league. And everybody that's done deals with me, they know I don't waste no time. Even if I'm working, you know what I mean? If I'm taking care of my kids, my phone's in my hand. Let me go check this deal real quick. You know what I mean? I take fantasy football serious. So the first thing I do is I open that app up. I go take a look at that trade, and I don't need 2-3 hours. I don't use any calculator. I don't need to text some buddies or call somebody, ask what they think of my trade. You know what I mean? I know what I like in players, and I know I have visions for my teams. So when that deal comes in, I take a look at it. If I like it, I might go ahead and hit accept. I'm not one of those guys that's going to counter and try to squeeze a second out of you or squeeze a third. You know what I mean? Because you never know that deal that person sent. They may already be feeling reluctant of doing it. So me, like I said, go ahead and shoot me a quick text after you send the deal, and we're probably going to get something done within the first 5-10 minutes. Now the way I like to do my deals, when I look forward to shoot a deal out to someone, the first thing I do is I look at your roster and look at what I think your biggest need is. And I usually assume that me and you have the same idea of what your goddamn need is. If you have a weak running back position, you probably know that. So if I see that, I'm probably going to offer you a decent running back. Maybe you have a receiver that I really want. So I'm going to offer you that decent running back, a lower receiver, and then maybe throw in a second round pick, just to spice things up. And I know typically that second round pick is probably a little more than what I should, but at the same time, maybe you have that receiver that I really want, but I'm already giving you a running back, which is probably with that and the receiver was enough value to compensate, but the second round pick is probably going to put it over the top. Sometimes, depending on that player, it could be a first if I'm in contention as well. I will give up a first round pick any league if I'm in contention to win a championship that year.
Okay. All right, Shawnee, what do you're a little bit more subdued, I think, than Bank. What do you think?
So for me, I personally like it. I learned everybody's style, but I think by trading so much, I truly believe texting is the best way. Because first of all, we all know nobody goes nowhere without their phone. They might not open a specific app, but everybody gets messages. Whether you're gonna have to look at your messages for your significant other or something else. So I feel like that's the best way to get in contact with someone. And just what I really want to speak about, the most thing about trading overall, I feel like okay, everybody always made joke, oh y'all guys here every day, blah 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 blah. First of all, I win a lot, and this is for money. But besides that, the reason we play Dynasty is to have full control like a real GM. So it takes a lot of the fun away because if you just want to be inactive for months at a time and just have your favorite players, they have a specific league and it's called redraft. Okay, you
Hmm.
don't have to respond to me every 5 minutes. But if I send you a trade and I'd have to look every day for you to contemplate, if you're not sure about a trade, just decline it, please, and tell me move on. Because I hate when I have to just sit there and I feel like I'm bothering you. But me, I'm aggressive. I'm going to go get what I want. So I'm going to keep asking. It's
Now, do
not
you think
desperation. I'm
do you
trying to get
think
better.
Jerry
I'm trying to
Jones
win.
doesn't return the Daniel Snyder call for 6 months?
Well, they're probably on each other's yachts, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, come on, like so that's what Shawnee's saying. You know what I mean? We want to
I
treat
got you.
this like real league. So
Yeah, it's not like I expect you to instantly like me because I'm always here. Like like no matter what I do, like I get business done regardless. Work, sleep, anything. So I know it's possible. I guess everybody's super busy. Nobody has time, but they all play. So
Uh,
that's really frustrating.
let's
Yeah.
see, let's hear from Vander. I know you got a little bit usually more aggressive style, similar, maybe not similar Banks, but you're definitely more out there. What do you think?
Do not fucking text me unless you are in this podcast or Marin. Do not text me talking about some fucking trade. I will say no just because you fucking texted me. Don't fucking text me. But really what I want to talk about is just because you have someone on your team doesn't mean they're amazing. Stop trying. Everyone needs to stop like putting their players on such a pedestal. It's one thing if you don't like someone else has, but your guys, everyone on your team is not fucking Jesus. You don't have 15 CMCs and Patrick Mahomes. Lower your fucking prices. Be realistic. Jesus fucking Christ. Improve your team. Stop having prices so high that you cannot improve your goddamn team. You just
like
look like assholes.
every player that you draft in the draft, you cannot possibly believe they are going to be the star of that team.
Because it's not
Every
who you
player,
fucking wanted.
come on.
And
Is
the
it?
other
De'Ami Brown going for Justin Jefferson prices. Oh, he's going to eventually be the man. Come on.
Yeah, you get a book every time. Like I get it, man.
I feel like these are directed comments almost, but
pretty much
Michael
for like
Carter.
damn near everyone in the league. Like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
now Michael Carter is probably worthless now. So thanks for all them guys who didn't want to trade him when he was
right?
hot.
You idiots, fucking idiot.
uh, okay. Uh, so me personally, I don't mind. I'm like Bank, messaging or text. I'm pretty
Do not
good.
fucking text me.
Um, I'm pretty good with either one. Uh, yeah, and I really don't care when, but when I'm at work and other things, it's hard for me to respond, or if I'm with my kid. But one thing I do, like, I don't know, maybe it's just built to me. Like, if I can't message you, I will say, hey, I am doing X, Y, Z. You ain't gonna hear from me until tomorrow. Like, I almost feel like I have to give you like a window so because like what
Yeah,
Shawnee said,
You are good about that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
You'll let me know.
yeah, like what Shawnee said is like I don't want to have Shawnee sitting there waiting, like thinking I'm thinking about it, because I'm really not. Like if I tell him, hey, I'm not gonna
right.
get to it till tomorrow, like I'm not even gonna look at it.
Yeah,
But then when I look at it, I give him, I know I have like time to just like focus and like think it through, because I'm not like Bank. I don't like to make rash decisions like that. So for me, that just doesn't work.
Yeah, I
Uh,
impulse trade.
uh, so I don't mind you want to text me about it, but just know, like,
It's
if
just
I
I've
don't do
done
it.
so much homework on all these guys already. It's
and
like
my
so
thing
I
is, I think it's because I don't love anybody. I don't love any
Bro,
player.
I just
Like
be getting
anybody can
bored
go.
most of the time. To be
Anybody can go.
honest,
Um, the only other thing I would say, and I think I can't remember now. I think it was Shani who said it. If I am messaging you or contacting you or whatever, just hit the decline. Like
Yeah,
just
just do that.
I think
Yeah,
it's a bitch move when people do it. Like I hate it so much. Like What's the point in having you in the league? Because it just makes me never want to do business with people who do that.
And I want to say one thing real quick too. Because the way that it's the way that I move, right? Everyone knows me. Every one of you guys has ever sent me a trade. Anybody else is listening to this ever sent me a trade. You know, it has never taken me, sometimes I can get sidetracked. So it's never taken me more than an hour or whatever to look at a trade and get back to you, hit decline, accept, negotiate, whatever, right? So for you same people that when I send you a trade, and you know how I do business, why, when I send you one, will you just let it sit there, not say anything? And you know, if you send me one, the type of energy I'm going to give you. So why wouldn't you just give me that same energy? I'm only looking to do good business. You're never seeing a deal done where you're like, oh my God, Bank just did that. We need to kick him out the league. Ever.
Yeah.
Let me make it simple, a little simpler. Clean this up though. First of all, if you're one of those people, and I'm not even gonna just say Marion because she's actually a little better and she actually responds if I text her.
If you
That
text
just say,
Marin,
yeah,
she gets back to you.
I found out that way because I'm so
Yeah.
aggressive. But besides that, I feel like if you just one of them guys, just put it in a text so I know to never hit you up. If you just not one of those traders, oh yeah, like I feel like people are just so unsure of what they're doing, and I understand that. For those type of people, yes, please get a calculator if that makes it better, or ask me to explain to you. I, I might joking a lot, but a lot of things I say come true when it comes to this fantasy stuff. So I won't even sugarcoat it. Yes, I'm coming to you because I need this player or I like this player. But like Egas says, that doesn't mean I think I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna give you good value. It's first thing, it's no point of doing 1-for-1 trades unless it's for handcuffs. But if you're doing
Or a
one for
guy I
one
like and a
trade,
guy you like.
yeah, like if we both gonna stand on it. But even then, I'm gonna tell you off the bat, somebody's gonna lose.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So that's one thing. Second, yeah, just like I said, just please just decline. And even if you decline, at least if I ever send you a trash offer, because we all do it, sometimes mistakenly. If I send you a trash offer, that's just telling you I'm interested in something.
There you go.
That doesn't always mean, oh, I'm trying to lowball you. So please, like we make jokes and rants and just being joking, but I make trades every day. Everybody knows I can get a trade done. So if I send you trash, that just means I'm interested and I want you to know.
All
That's
right.
it.
Well,
Hold on. Let
show
me answer one
you
question that you
you've
asked.
got 60 seconds. You got 60
Nigga, hold
seconds.
on. Shit.
Hey man,
I
I
will
got stuff to
talk.
do tomorrow.
Calm down. So you asked, what is too much? What is too much when messaging? And no one hit that.
Okay, go ahead.
It's too much when you have to explain to someone else why your trade that you're sending is what someone else needs. That's too much. You've done too much already. You're not trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's short to the point. Makes sense.
Yeah. And I agree with it.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us here. Hopefully we didn't, bore anybody out there and give y'all some stuff to think about. Hit us up. We're always looking at. I mean, I know us four are always pretty active with trades. Especially Shawnee and Bank, man. They trade like in every league. Um, anyways, so thank you, Shawnee.
No problem.
Thank you, Bank.
What it do, baby?
And thank you, Egan.